talk about a few things while I steam my curtains here. I don't know if you can tell, but they need some steaming because they're a little wrinkly. But basically, I wanted to go live real quick because one, I had the time, and two, I just thought about how like a lot of times when you're starting a new channel, there are so many things that you oftentimes don't even think about that you do to get the channel going, right? And these can range from setting up a studio, painting walls. I just recently painted these walls, so they were that color over there, and I'm not going to paint that because it's not going to be shown on the video at all. But now they're this dark blue, which honestly just looks so much better, especially with my bald head on that color there. So setting up a studio sometimes takes lots of little things like that. And right now, I recently added these curtains, so I wanted to steam them, and that's going to look a lot nicer on camera as well. So there's so many little things like that that when it comes down to starting a YouTube channel, I wouldn't say that a lot of these things make a huge difference, but they're things that we do in order to just make things look nicer. And there's a lot of these things too. So things like setting up a space, things like writing scripts, things like doing your thumbnails and thinking up titles, and sometimes using ChatGPT and all these little things that we can we have to do in order to make a successful YouTube channel. And yet a lot of these things, when it comes to the final video, you don't see them, right? You don't see all the little details that went into making a YouTube channel like that. So right now, just talking about things like, is that right? Yeah, there we go. Things like steaming curtains, cleaning, having a good dedicated space to film videos. All these kinds of things go into making YouTube videos, and they're just behind the scenes. Now, we could argue that, yeah, of course they're behind the scenes, just like cleaning your house is behind the scenes of having a home office, or cooking food is behind the scenes of feeding your children. And of course, there's lots of things that have behind the scenes, but something like this is going to make a big difference in terms of how professional our videos look, right? So, and obviously, no matter what profession you're in, no matter what you do from day to day, there's going to be things that you do behind the scenes. But in terms of just factoring in the time that it takes sometimes to make a YouTube video, or the professionalism that you come across on video, or all the little things that you have to do before you even hit record. And sometimes you just got to say also that, I could do all these things, but hitting record and posting a video is more important than having all the details done. Or you can even combine them. Like right now, I'm making a video, I'm going live, and I'm doing some of these things behind the scenes. Sometimes it just takes saying, I'm not going to make sure everything's perfect, but I'm going to do what I can to hit record, do what I can to upload a video, do what I can to go live. Even if everything's not ideal, I'm going to say, I'm going to learn as I go. I'm going to start messy. I got to decline this phone call and all the little things, right? So right now, got a green light so I can start steaming. I need to steam this one. This one's not great, but it's better than this one. So, and sometimes just saying, I'm going to do what it takes to move forward and not worry about perfection. What does Think Media say? They say, kick perfection in the face. Is that right? But just say, I'm going to, even if it's not perfect, go ahead and do something and make things better than they would have been otherwise. Because right now, I could just say, well, this doesn't look that bad, and I could go ahead and record a video with these curtains. And I have recorded several videos with these curtains, as wrinkly as they are. I try to kind of crop them out a little bit so you don't see them so bad. And even now, I can tell they're not going to be perfect when I finish steaming this, but it's going to be better. And sometimes it's just these little tweaks as you go to say, as I progress on my YouTube journey, the goal is never perfection, I mean, yes, ideally we would have perfect videos, but the goal is simply to get better and better with each upload. So even if these curtains just get a little bit better, because honestly I don't even have a whole lot of time right now, even if these curtains are just a little bit better than they were for my last video, once I finish and record another video, then that's an improvement. And maybe over time I can make them even better if I have time. So like right now, these wrinkles are really inset. I'm not getting a whole lot out really. The more I kind of pull at it and tug at it, okay, that's looking better. So maybe that's what I got to do. But I'm using this more as an illustration than anything else to say that, you know, you have to think not just about, you know, the big things, but also the little things. And every little thing that you do is going to make an improvement. Maybe, obviously, the big things are going to make the biggest improvement. Things like your on-camera presence, things like your script and the value that you provide through what you actually say, or the things that you show. Those things obviously are going to make the biggest difference. But even small things like how your studio looks and the lighting you use, and I would say your sound. Although the sound of your video, how clear you are able to be heard, that's definitely a big thing in a lot of ways. They say sound is more important than visuals and what you see. And certainly if you can't hear what's being said, that's a major issue. But I would say even sound is secondary to the content itself. In that, if your content is so amazing, people lean in to really hear what you're saying, and it's that valuable, then sound is going to be secondary in that way. Although, if you can't be heard at all, that's definitely an issue. You have to be able to be heard. So this is definitely coming out a little bit. Like I said, it's not going to get out completely today, although it is better than when I started. I only have a few minutes. I gotta run and get my daughter from school. But I just mostly wanted to take a second, take a few minutes, and I debated sitting down and recording for about 10 minutes, and I ultimately thought, well, it's going to take me 10 minutes even just to think about what I want to talk about. So instead of sitting down and recording a proper standalone video for the channel, I thought I would kill two birds with one stone as they sit and record. That's my alarm telling me to go get my daughter, so I need to get off here in a second. I would kill two birds with one stone, record a live video or go live while also beautifying my space just a little bit. And like I said, I'm not going to get this finished today, but hopefully it'll look better than it did yesterday. And for the next video, it'll look that much more professional. Like I said, not completely perfect, but we're not going for perfect. We're just going for better today. And that's what it's going to take for YouTube in general. Sometimes I got to say, well, the things aren't going to be perfect, but we can make them a little bit better. So what do you think? Have I made much of a difference? I think I made some difference. They're not quite as bad as they were. Yeah, they're getting there. I'll definitely need to hit them with a steamer again, but we're getting there. So that's all I really had time for today, because like I said, I got to go run and get my daughter. But hope that you're doing well. And just keep on pressing on, keep on making small improvements to your videos, maybe small improvements to your YouTube space or wherever it is that you're recording your stuff, small improvements to your presentation or whatever it is. And eventually we'll get to where we want to go, because hey, if I can do it, you can do it too. Just an average guy.